All right, Naegele, what did you bring in here this morning?
All right, new from Good Nature, Blight Buster. So it's not totally new, but it's new in cans. And uses a lot of New York State hops, hence the name Blight Buster. Those familiar with the hop industry know that it took a real downfall, not only because of Prohibition, but because of a very persistent blight that
Waterville was the hop capital of America.
Mm-hmm. And then after the blight, the farmers realized that you could increase your yields by growing in a more arid climate and irrigating. So that's when it all went out west. But this is called Blight Buster because it uses a ton of New York State hops that are blight resistant and grow very well here. And you can taste a lot of hops in this. It's a beautiful beer. It's not just one of the best IPAs in the state. I think it's one of the best IPAs, period.
Wow.
It's got a ton of tropical fruit flavors from those great hops. And
it does have a fruity flavor.
Yep, that's all hops.
And that's all hops.
Yep.
My wife and I were thinking about hops in the backyard. Mm-hmm. And how do they grow? How tall do they grow? What do we know about hops?
Well, they're a rhizome, so they grow from a section of root, and every so often you want to dig it up and cut it up, and new plants will grow from the cuttings. They grow about a foot a day. When they're growing initially in the spring.
Get out of here.
Yeah, they take over anything. They're very insidious.
That's what I was hoping for when I was 16. Never happened.
Never happened.
But and apparently Japanese beetles love them because mine are getting crushed up back. But
are you saying a foot a day?
Yeah, during the early summer when it's nice and hot and wet, they'll grow a foot a day, and they're
it's like bamboo, for God's sake.
Yeah, they're heliocentric, so they follow the sun. And unlike grapevines, these are actually called bines, so they don't have tendrils that attach to something. They have little sort of like spiky things on their stems that allow them to adhere to things. So that's why they grow up a wire.
Okay. And how tall? So they grow?
Anywhere to like 20 feet.
Wow. So why have a fence when you can have hops?
Right. You could have a wall of hops.
A wall of hops. Okay, really cool. And of course we've worked very carefully to come up with these blight resistant.
Yeah, I think it's just really natural selection, But Cornell Cooperative Extension does a lot of research. Into what's going to grow best here, and they're doing the same thing right now with malt as well. They're trying to find a good 2-row barley malt that'll grow in our climate, and that's not so susceptible to wet weather or high winds and stuff like that. Greg Johnson, my neighbor, wanted me to mention something to you.
Okay.
So he wants to argue with you over semantics. He wants to say that it's not the Democratic Party, it's the Democrat Party, and you're driving him out of his mind.
I always say the Democrat Party.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. Unless I'm doing it inadvertently and not realizing. But it's the Democrat Party. It's the democratic way of life. Yeah. But I always say the Democrat Party.
He caught me at the end of the driveway today.
Yeah.
Tell you that.
Maybe I've made the mistake. I don't know, but I know that full well. And if I have driven him crazy, I certainly apologize. But the fact that he's actually there being driven crazy and listening, I appreciate that crap right there. That's good.
Are Seagull safe? I think
those are actually
new design.
Yeah, those are totally recyclable, and I forget what the cap is called, but they're really nice too. You don't have as much damaged beer that falls out of the 6-pack.
First time I bought a 6-pack of cans that had that type of instead of the plastic that sort of thing. Was the Moscow Mule has that?
Yep.
You buy a 6-pack of Moscow. What is it called? It's not Moscow
Mule Kicker.
Mule Kicker. Yep. Through the Utica Brewery, and they use that as well. So, all right, we'll tell your neighbor we're sorry.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks for the beer.
We'll break and come back, and so much going on. It's gotten almost out of control here.
I'm sorry.
Coming right back. It always happens when Joe comes in.